What's up, Gemini? Welcome to Wild Pearl Tarot. Today we're going to be doing your May 2025 Tarot and Oracle reading. Gemini, we're going to start with the Mudra Oracle deck. And if you'd like for me to pray for you, if you'd like for other people on the channel to pray for you as well, it's one of those lovey-dovey channels. Say hi in the comment section or even leave an emoji, something that we can focus on that represents your energy. And I want to thank you in advance for hitting that like button. I really appreciate it. All right, really helps the channel. So right away, we have the message, melancholia, keep going. And this is how you do the mudra. So something that can empower you, that you can physically do when you're falling asleep, when you're meditating, when you're listening to this reading. This is that sign. His brilliance illuminates my spirit. Not everybody connects God or spirit with a he, a him. So I'll say her, they, I know. Let's just be real about it. So their brilliance illuminates my spirit, warms my heart, and shows me the way to their heavenly home of joy. This mudra is also called the Tsu mudra. It helps to deal with despondency, melancholia, and depression. So if any of you guys feel that sneaking up or anything, this is a really powerful thing you can do. You take a deep breath, fresh air, drink lots of water, stretch your arms wide and high, clap your hands, and only then form the mudra. This is the cosmic power behind the sun. That's why we got the picture of that, right? In other words, it is the inexpressible reality which inspires, carries, and guides the universe and everything in it. It is dawn. Slowly the sun rises above the horizon, spreading light and more light until the new day is fully born. You too, Gemini, can now make a fresh start. This is the card of fresh starts. Keep going. I like it. Okay, let's get right into it. What's coming towards my Gemini this May 2025? Please make it clear, Spirit. Coming towards my Geminis. I like that at the bottom of the deck, we've got the healing recovery card of 6 of Swords. It's coming towards my Geminis. We only take the cards that flip out. We start with a pow of energy. This is the Ace of Wands. This brings passion, enthusiasm, new starts. But, you know, it's something that one has to take advantage of right away, right? Because this offer, whatever it is, it can go out kind of like the flame of a match if it's not fed with action. But I don't want to jump ahead of myself too much. This is already, my nose is itching. I pre-apologize for all of you having to watch me deal with my nose. If it itches, it's a good thing. And some of you guys have stated in previous readings when I've mentioned it, like, yeah, my nose itches too when I read tarot. And I just think it's like, it means like go in this direction, or it like compounds the message. So, okay, right away at the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. We've had the Recovery 6 of Swords card. This is about recovery. This is about, okay, such cool message. We do have a disharmony with either a partner or a relationship of some sort. This also sometimes has a choice kind of hidden in the background. And there's this message of you're coming out of a sense of lack, maybe not being understood in that relationship, maybe not getting enough of what you needed in that relationship, and this is compounding the message. I don't know why the word compounding keeps on coming up, but I'm going to go with it. This is the Death card, and this is a good card, meaning it's also a rebirth. So it's allowing space, it's clearing the clutter, and sometimes relationships that aren't not giving back to us can be clutter, basically. And so you're making room for the living, for the life, for the pow energy, okay? So something's coming in at the same time as something is going out. Some of you guys have experienced melancholy with this. Some of you guys have experienced a sense of hopelessness attached to this. And you're coming out of that place. So when we have that 5 of Pentacles, whether it's a business or a money reading, which would mean, hey, I feel broke, I'm not getting enough money. If it's a relationship reading, this means I'm not being seen, I'm not getting enough love, or I'm feeling lonely, I'm feeling isolated, alienated. You are coming out of that place. And it seems that for any of you guys who are like letting go of a relationship that you were hoping would change, but it was not feeding you. This is actually a really healthy transition. Let's get some more clarity on this, because, why do I say that? Because at the bottom of the deck, this is where we're going. Abundance. And also, this is a very attractive card. So this is like the Marilyn Monroe, the Aphrodite of the deck. So if you're thinking about getting back out in the scene there, if this is a romantic reading for you, then this is very good. If this is really just about family or your friendships and feeling abundant in that area, this is really good for you. So let's start with this Ace of Wands. What is this Ace of Wands? This is going to be an extended reading, you guys. I like to do those when I can. And that means we can go deeper into the advice, spend more time on all the messages. If you'd like to follow me there at the end of the reading, that will be a link in the description box below. So, what is this offer? Something you don't see coming around the corner here. It feels like you're working on something in the background, and whether or not you realize that something is working in the background. Somebody here, there's two people coming through attached to this offer. And I have to get this out of the way, that and you'll feel it out, you'll throw this out if it doesn't apply. But for a few of you guys, there might have even been like a third party situation. There might have been a third energy getting in the way here. But there's a sense of something being offered around the corner or in the background, and that's why there's kind of that third-party potential. But it's veiled. There's one person who's been very much in their emotions, maybe up and down, maybe the toxic version of themselves, meaning they're just kind of on this emotional roller coaster. When they're in this place, they might feel one way, hot and cold. They might feel another in a second. Later, they just feel out of control of their emotions. Sometimes it can even give way to a little manipulation. And then we've got somebody else who's stepped away from, they're not in their emotions. They're very much in a practical place. They might be even focused on work and things that they can count on. This is Three of Wands. So all of this, I think it does feel like there's this third energy coming through this dynamic between two people. And I don't think that these two people are advertising this dynamic. I think that somebody's reading between the lines and somebody is inserting themselves. It does feel like third party. Now, it doesn't have to be sexual. I'm just throwing that out there, but it does feel that there's this person that's kind of galloping in with a lot of enthusiasm, possibly passion, kind of waiting for their big moment. So then we have the disharmony between a partnership, between a couple, potentially. And tell me more about this for my Gemini. It's leading to singlehood. Somebody is stepping away from this debacle and they're embracing their independence. And that's when it all changes. That's when we have coming out of a feeling of isolation, alienated, feeling not enough, a sense of lack, loneliness, misunderstood. That's when things happen. Flipping but not flying, we got Four of Wands. I'll take note of that. Yes, and it's with a little heartbreak, but guess what our first card is keep going. Brilliance illuminates my spirit, warms my heart, and shows me the way to their heavenly home of joy. Helps deal with despondency, melancholia, and depression. So it's not been easy, but now you are making room. It's like there's a sense of like, at least I know what is what now. Like at least I know where to put my energy. And tell me, there's a sense of cutting one's losses, moving on, because this is where you're aimed, is Two of Cups. And Two of Cups is a stronger, to me as a reader, is a stronger soulmate partnership card than the Lovers card. Even though I love the Lovers is ruled by Gemini, that's awesome, but it also comes with a choice. And Gemini, you are so amazing and brilliant. with recognizing dualities of a situation, right? So this is kind of where you're aiming, is partnership. You might have had disappointment or heartbreak with all of this, but you are following your intuition, and it just circles back right again with this keep going card. Their brilliance illuminates my spirit, warms my heart, and shows me the way to their heavenly home of joy. So you know that what's lighting up your compass, this is intuition. So at least, so yes, you might feel heartbroken or depressed sometimes, because it's just, but it's as an effect of the situation, and it is passing, it's transitional. And I think the deeper wisdom in you knows that, and it's like, let's close it up, let's move on. This is also a rebirth. Let's get a card from here, and then I'm going to unpack it with another deck of cards, since we've used, you use so many cards. Yeah, you might be feeling sad right now, you might be feeling down, but it gets better. Bear with me, we're going to get into that. So let's turn the corner, okay? So what's around the corner now for Gemini? Because I think intuition is leading you to, there's a sense of pride that you leave this relationship with. It's like, I'm not going to compromise. I want a special partnership, and I do think that it's hard. So a lot of you guys have already experienced this, but let's now at the bottom of the deck, we got the High Priestess. I love that. The High Priestess is your compass. It's leading you to true partnership. So, and I can hear some of you guys being like, I don't even want that right now. I just want to be alone for a while. And I totally get it if you're feeling that way. And of course you have free will. Tarot doesn't hold any power over you. So I'm just there to help you with introspection. So what's around the corner? Judgment. This is actually a bigger thing than you realize, possibly. The Judgment is a resurrection card. This is definitely a healing card, but this is stepping up into kind of leveling up into a different chapter in your life. So the you that is being born of this disappointment or sadness, and for some of you guys, it's been devastating. Broken heart can sometimes just change you down to your molecules, right? And when you experience a broken heart, there's you brush up against your own mortality in an interesting way. You feel very mortal, and I know that sounds weird, but it's kind of, when our hearts break, it can show us a fragility in our lives that sometimes without it we don't see. And there's a gift inside of that, because it emphasizes the parts that are so good, of course, that goes along with it, the duality of life. It emphasizes when times are good, but there's something deeper about it. There's a depth that is, there's a depth that you gather, that you have, what the fuck, why can't I come up with a word? Excuse me. There's a depth that you acquire with heartbreak and disappointment. And it's a soul's depth, right? And that's what we're here to do, right? Life is some gritty business. And if you're lucky enough to live through a long one, then you don't get out of it. You don't get out of it alive. No, but you don't get out of it with a little bit of trauma, right? You can wear that trauma like a badge. I've lived a life. I've participated. I've taken part in my life. That means sometimes it comes with heartbreak. It comes with grit and sand. And that doesn't mean I stop loving. That doesn't mean I stop living. No, that just means I change, I adapt, I grow. And that's the Judgment card, okay? So this is what's around the corner for you. What else for my Geminis? That one came out. Fool. So now we're getting all major arcana, 22 in a deck of 78. These are the big messengers. You have new journey all over the place. This is going to be new in a very different way. There's going to be the landscape you may not even recognize completely. But at this point, I think you're ready for it, right? Because there's also a courage that can be born in disappointment and heartache. When our molecules get kind of rearranged with it, there's a courage, because you find out how much you can take. And then you never change perspective. It's like the hanging man, right? In tarot, You know, he hangs upside down from that tree. I wouldn't be surprised if you got it in your reading. He hangs upside down that tree and he sees the same landscape he's been looking at all his life, but he sees it completely differently. And he's uncomfortable hanging upside down that tree. But he knows that once he gets down, that discomfort will go away, but he'll never lose that perspective. He'll never lose that view. So this landscape is changing. Your life landscape is changing. It's elevating. What's around the corner for my Geminis? Knight of Cups. Oh, lover. So this is a romantic energy. This is somebody coming towards you with their heart on their sleeve. This could be somebody who might be a water sign, a Scorpio, a Pisces, or a Cancer. But this could also be somebody who is kind of just gentle, who like makes space for emotion, makes space to listen, makes space to nurture. It's a compassionate energy. What about this Knight of Cups? What about this Knight of Cups? What about this Knight of Cups? Wow, they're coming towards you with passion. And if you're curious why they might be so passionate, is that they're going to be hiding it probably at first with the Seven of Swords, but they have been going through a similar battle of their own of recovery. Six of Swords, first card that was underneath the deck for you. Recovery, they know what it is to have your molecules rearranged with heartbreak, with challenge, but they're not going to approach you necessarily showing all those vulnerabilities, but it emphasizes the passion they approach you with. Sometimes we recognize things in people we don't understand, right? It's like pheromones matching up. You know why that we're like, I know some of you guys know this, some of you don't. You know that why you might be so attracted to somebody, but you could see a photo of them, you're like, no, not so much. And then you get around them and you're like, man, I'm so attracted to them. You're picking up most likely on their pheromones, right? Attraction starts with scent. But what if you dive deeper into the science behind that, we all have vulnerabilities where in our immune systems, where we might be prone to heart disease, where we might be prone to this illness or that. We're naturally attracted to people who are strong in the areas that we are weak. Anyway, don't get me on a tangent. Anyway, so this person knows what it is to go through what you've been going through. And they might not be able to explain what it is that they're attracted to in you, but I bet you get to talking with them and it won't take very long to figure it out because they're going through a similar transformation. Balance is really key for this as well. So that's what you have to look forward to. I hope that is helpful, you guys. Sending you off with love. Please like and subscribe. And of course, follow me to the extended. For all of you guys who don't like extendeds, this was a hell of a reading and you don't have to have it, but we're going to jump into advice and all that good stuff. Take good care. Bye-bye.